Qualifiers in Group B from Costa Rica, where Trinidad and Tobago take on Guyana. Second match of the day here in Group B, where earlier we saw the British Virgin Islands take care of business over St. Martin, while the hosts of this group, Costa Rica, sit by and wait for their first match to take place on Sunday in this five-team group. A look at the weather here this evening shows you a chance of rain as the evening progresses. It was a beautiful picture-perfect day when the first game took place. 67% chance of rain that has been coming down pre-game here. Breeze expected throughout the night as well. We saw it affect some balls earlier or played into the air, something to keep in mind as we go through this when the elements will be a factor to some degree. Now, for those of you who are taking this in for the first time, which would be many of you here on the first day of this qualifying phase, a reminder of how things stand and how they're set up. There's 5 teams here in Group B. There are 35 teams overall, split into 8 groups, and the 8 group winners, only group winners, nothing beyond that, just the 8 group winners, all go on to the Under-17 World Cup in Qatar later this year. This is all new for everybody, for Concacaf, for FIFA, everybody involved. This is a new cycle here. It used to be a biannual World Cup cycle. Every 2 years you'd have the U17 World Cup. Starting this year, FIFA implementing an annual World Cup cycle at the U17 level. So the qualifying changes here in CONCACAF as well. What we are seeing is the first ever setup like this, where 8 teams for CONCACAF will qualify for a U17 World Cup. Now, these 2 teams, they have high hopes coming into group play here. Trinidad and Tobago, the 13th ranked team in CONCACAF at the U17 level. Guyana, the 21st ranked team. These are the 2nd and 3rd ranked teams, respectively, behind the host Costa Rica. If there's any upset to happen in this group, where it's not the favorites Costa Rica going through, you'd imagine it would be one of these 2 teams. So it's vital that one of these 2 teams starts off on the right foot. Will it be Guyana? Will it be Trinidad and Tobago? Or will they share a point each tonight? We will find out together over the next 90 minutes. First, we'll have Anthems, lineups, and kick in just a moment.
A los equipos nacionales de Trinidad y Tobago y Guyana. Damas y caballeros, les pedimos ponerse de pie para el himno nacional de Trinidad y Tobago. Damas y caballeros, les pedimos ponerse de pie para escuchar el himno nacional de Guyana.
Anthems in the books, ready to get things going now in the first matchup for both Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana here in this qualifying round. These are two nations that come into this with high hopes. Their trajectory has been up over the last few years. Guyana, go back 3 years to the 2022 qualifying phase. They finished third in their group. It wasn't enough to get through, but they had a record of 3 wins, a loss, and a draw. And then at the 2023 tournament, Trinidad and Tobago got through their group and lost in a thriller in extra time against El Salvador in the round of 16. Both hoping to get further now to get to a World Cup. And this is the opening 11 that we see for the Soca Warriors. Levi Williams in goal. And you've got the captain right there in the middle of the park, Nkosi Fonsep, or the head coach, Sean Cooper. Expectation is that these are the two teams who would give Costa Rica the best push, the best run for an upset in this group. Every group has a quote-unquote favorite. No doubt it's the host Costa Rica in this group. We'll learn tonight whether either of these two nations can maybe knock them down. Evans Jolmis is the match official from the Bahamas. Prince Albury, Juan Colindres, and Michael Venn round out the group. Captains meeting for the coin toss at Shaquan David, wearing the armband tonight, the number 8 for Guyana. As Fonsep retreats over to his bench for just a moment. A look at the starting 11 for Guyana. Head coach Marco Bonafiglio. Luke Longevine up top is the man to watch. See if they look to spring it long through him. You got Mikel Mills and Shaquan David as a tandem in the center of the park. And then Tapal Nijar in goal. Earlier, there was a clear disparity between the two teams. British Virgin Islands, the much better side with the upper hand over Sint Maarten, won it 4-0. I don't know if we're going to see that same type of disparity here, but then again, everything at the U17 level tends to be a mystery. Players who might have only been 14 or 15 the last time this qualifying phase came around. How do they develop? This is our introduction to so many of the future stars. We don't really know who they are right now. They're just names and numbers in uniforms. And we don't quite find out more about them until this group phase ends and we go from there. So we're about to learn a lot more right now about both of these teams. Trinidad and Tobago in the red, Guyana in the white. And we're just about set to kick things off here in Costa Rica. Second match of the day here in Group B of the 2025 Concacaf U17 qualifiers. 8 spots up for grabs in the World Cup in November in Qatar. Those 8 spots will belong to all 8 of our group winners here. 3 points tonight would go a long way in starting things off on the right foot. And away we go. The Soca Warriors from left to right will start things off, looking long on that left side, finding a man in space. There's a set play off the kickoff here. Can they make it count? Laid off edge of the area. Calling for it is Adi, trying from distance here, and it's wide. 15 seconds in, and an opportunity there for Trinidad and Tobago to start things off with a bang. slow things down and work it all the way back to Levi Williams. Bouncing around, Langevin waiting for it to come down. Now it's Dakari Drake for Guyana. Back to Raquel Mills. Fonset. Williams. Back to Fonset, back to Williams for a Trinidad throw. Head coach looking on, Sean Cooper. Trinidad and Tobago. Dropped into the number 10, Dominic Joseph. There's Marco Bonafiglio looking on for Guyana. Took a deflection on the cross, but it gets to the intended target. Settled by Josiah Theophilus. Couldn't keep it in play. Joshua Morris, the throw. Won by McMillan. Talon McMillan spins with it, splits through 3 defenders. Springs Theophilus. Overlap coming. Williams cuts in, tries to feed it through for Joseph. Too long. And for those of you again who are new to this qualifying phase here on the first day, who didn't catch any of the earlier action and might not have gotten the explanation yet, the rationale behind this switch that has sent shockwaves through the U17 level going to an annual World Cup. It's simply too many players were missing out on the opportunity to play in a World Cup or qualify for one, just simply based upon their birth year. The jump between being 15, 16, or 17 years old, it's such a key time in development. Some players simply aren't ready at 15, 16 to have that kind of impact. So, say for example, you had a player who was 16 years of age in 2023 when the last U17 World Cup came around. Maybe he was close, but not quite ready to make the jump onto the roster. So you got a 16-year-old who's maybe hoping for the following year to be his year. It's possible you had a 16-year-old who was not quite able to break through on that roster for that World Cup in 2023. So maybe in 2024, as a 17-year-old, he helps his nation qualify for the 2025 World Cup. But then by the time the 2025 World Cup rolls around, he ages out of the equation and cannot partake in it. So just by having an annual cycle here at the U17 World Cup level, being such a key phase in the development of these young players, it's going to give so many more nations and players so many more opportunities, not only switching to an annual system, but also expanding from 24 to 48 teams as well. So we see the qualification shift to every year now. We see the departure of the men's under-17 championship in Concacaf that used to see every 2 years as well. Now just an annual qualifying phase like this one. And we're also going to see more spots allocated. It used to be 4 spots allocated for Concacaf nations at the U17 World Cup. That has doubled now to 8 spots up for grabs. All in all, going to help out the nations, going to help out the players. A big win, no matter who you ask, really. for the development of the game in this phase. Try from distance here for Guyana if they want it. Two players run over it. Now it's hammered through the wall. And it goes just wide. On the slick surface after the rains came through. Not a bad idea there for Shaquan David to have a go. Hope the skip goes your way. Contact there. Referee says play on as Philip Nelson ran through. Quincy Frazier keeps it in. And now a throw for Guyana on the way.
Good side, get back, good side.
Kept in by Langevin. Falling from Morris. All the way back and ricochets off the chest of the on-charging Nelson. Out for a throw and an opportunity here for Trinidad and Tobago to try and pin Guyana back. And this throw deep in their own territory. All the way back to the keeper, Levi Williams. Whistle blows. Free kick for Guyana. Again, it's Shaquan David in the mix. Everything going on. David goes short on this one. Or pardon me, that's just the referee having them take the kick from further back. Trinidad and Tobago a little bit confused as well. A couple players started to charge toward the ball. Lofted in from the free kick and gathered by Williams without any harm. Guyana starting to find some foothold here in possession. Langevin. Kari Drake ends up having it come all the way back. Joshua Morris. Nelson trying to run out. There's no other red jersey in the picture to help him out, but he wins the throw. Ushered away by Unver. McMillan fouled. Set piece coming for Trinidad and Tobago. Left it in toward the back post. The diving header's wide. He shook free of his mark and had an opportunity there. Chaz Williams squandered. Through for Joseph. Down the left wing, it's Langevin. Neither side really posing a threat yet, just that set piece wide header. We saw a moment ago from Trinidad and Tobago, now pushed ahead. It's Nelson, flag stayed down. Nelson just puts it wide. He's been active, begging for the service. Just wide.
What's your name, Talon?
3, let's go. 3, let's go. Yeah.
Nelson was waiting for it. Theophilus tracking it down. Pinballs around, all the way back to Levi Williams. Nothing yet really to speak of for Levi Williams defensively in goal. Just a couple of balls he's had to handle on passbacks. Fonset. Lost in the midfield by Mills. Theophilus connects on the overlap there. McMillan ranging forward. He goes down. Cleanly won. Beyond the quarter hour mark here in Costa Rica. Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana still scoreless. Better of the chances, mainly half chances so far, belong to Trinidad and Tobago. The second and third ranked teams respectively in this group. Costa Rica ranked 6th, Soca Warriors 13th, Guyana 21st, then the British Virgin Islands at 32, and Sint Maarten at 41. The expectation after what we saw today already is that Sint Maarten is a team you can beat up on a bit and pick up your points. So it's a matter of what you do in these matches against the teams that are a little bit more closely clustered rankings-wise. Only 8 spots separating these two nations. The expectation is if Costa Rica is to be unseeded as the top team in this group, which is a big if, terrific as a nation they've been over the last few years, and all the reports out of Costa Rica are that they are ready to turn the page to a new golden generation after the one that we just saw come to its end. Likes of Brian Ruiz, Celso Borges, so on and so forth. They sort of had a lost generation. Nobody really, for the span of a decade, really cracking that lineup, but now there's a new group, teenagers and 20-year-olds. So the expectation is Costa Rica, especially hosting, are the heavy favorites in this group. And if there is a team to unseat them, I have to think it's one of these two teams. Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana also on the come up lately. We've seen it at every level, U17, U20, and the senior level over the last 3-4 years.
Turn the face, turn the face! Good.
20 minutes come and gone, still scoreless. Trinidad and Tobago starting to settle in. They've been the more dangerous side.
Win!
Guyana tried to go quickly, and we brought back.
Look around, hey, look around. Men in the pockets. Watch for the runner, hey. Don't get tough, hey. Addition.
Sent in by David. Flicked on. Shot for a handball there from Guyana. Now the volley blocked. Second effort headed down by Drake. Volley again blocked. They've had their spurts here and there. They generate some chaos, but nothing sustained so far. Nelson rolled along, cut back inside, and a try from distance by Hadid, blocked again.
You can do it there now. You can do it there, just die. Jesus Christ.
Long throw from McMillan. Nelson tried to turn, couldn't.
No cross.
Theophilus blocked away by Morris defensively. Back to McMillan. He's slow to get up, but finds his footing and the ball again. McMillan flashes it across to the back post, but too much on it. Picked up by Drake, and one back by Trinidad and Tobago. Switching out wide to Williams again. Theophilus. McMillan give and go. Theophilus in space. Has options in the box. Theophilus cutting in. Back to the end line on his preferred right foot. Plays a great ball in. Comes all the way through. Edge of the area now is settled by Joseph. Had it blocked.
Let's go. Three.
Halfway through this first half. Neither side really wanting to give too much. Just really long feeling out process here. A couple of times squeaking through, but nothing ultimately too dangerous from either side, really. Snuck through, bounding around.
Time, Joker.
Nice long ball down the left side into space, and it's going to, let's see, did that go out on the end line or the sideline? Players looking around, it'll be a long throw. Chaz Williams just gets it in quickly instead. Good speed to close there from Nelson to block that. Bounces anywhere else. It's a breakaway for Trinidad and Tobago. Can they break here? Looking through the middle, Nelson all the way back to Nijar. Heavy touch though, look out. Had to just get rid of it. One back by Trinidad and Tobago. Joseph tries from distance. Joseph touched over the bar. Oh, what a strike. Dominic Joseph spotted that Nijar was out of position off his line. You see the keeper patting his chest there saying, my bad. He created the mess, but he gets out of it with this save on that lightning bolt out for a corner.
On your toes!
Short from the corner, better angle now this. Looking for Phillip, comes all the way through for Guyana as they try to clear.
What's your hand behind your butt net? Early! What's the idea? Look up there! Look at this! Give it a go in! Good. Come on, stop the ball, it's over his back! Organize! Move! Move! Vamos! Ready!
Overlap down the left side for Pierre. Looking Nelson's way. Theophilus was lurking too. Cleared out beyond midfield. Half an hour gone, still scoreless. Nice takeaway from Drake. Guyana's counter punches have come in spurts like this. Nothing consistent, nothing sustained, but they exist. Set piece opportunity here. Shaquan David, the right-footed option. Quincy Frazier there as well. We're at number 7. Frazier goes for goal. Frazier touched over the bar. Quincy Frazier from the corner earned it from his well-struck free kick, fumbled by the keeper, loose in front, and Guyana takes the lead. Joshua Morris runs to the corner to celebrate. A mistake by Levi Williams. It slipped through his fingers. Joshua Morris cleans it up, and Guyana, against a run of play, strikes first. Watch right here, just went out to catch it, lost it. Good composure there from Joshua Morris. The main finger to point, of course, is the goalkeeper for the miss, but look at all those players standing around watching Joshua Morris. He's able to, right here, take a touch to settle before he shoots in those tight quarters. That's a big no-no. Of course, again, the attention's going to go to the goalkeeper for the flub and having it slip through his fingers, but poor marking all around adds up to Guyana scoring the opening goal, 1-0.
Go away, Josiah.
Trinidad Tobago trying to get it right back, and they'll have a corner of their own.
Set up. Fraser! On the right, Timmer. Mark the top. On your toes.
Dominic Joseph will take it.
Watch short.
Short from Joseph. Now whipped in, and it's almost an own goal. Took two deflections off two Guyana defenders. Another corner. Here's the first touch and second touch, both from Guyanese players. Could have been a nightmare for the goalkeeper, Paul Nijar. It's played out for Hadid, curled in, and a handball. 10 to play here in the half. Guyana up 1-0. Nice ball played out wide. Is it too long, though? It is. Almost. Shaquan David able to catch up to it.
Come on. Wider. Just like get wider. Wider. Come, Josh, pass it on.
Long over the top, looking for Philip Nelson. He shoved down his defender and called for it. Good pressure in the midfield from Hadid. Back to Nelson. Joseph, Hadid. Slips it through for the captain, Fonset. Looking for Nelson. Long reach to keep it alive. Nelson had it blocked.
Tamer. On your toes. Well done. On your toes. Go. Left, left. Get on.
Try to get the try to get the drinks.
Hey, shape.
Come, gentlemen, come. Fall. Right, good.
Hey, wait.
Left side.
Yeah, watch your right.
Like a foul throw there from Joshua Morris, or rather, came out and then came in. They go to Trinidad and Tobago. Who were sort of stunned to concede when they did. Against the grain, Guyana took the lead. Theophilus driving ahead. Theophilus trying to weave through. Pokes it to Nelson on the turn. Offside flag came up. Down on the left side, Morris. Rather, that was Quincy Frazier.
Get back on side, Philip. Here to work, come on. One, Philip, jump! Yeah, but your body shape. That's why you're playing it.
Played through, looking for another one here, Guyana. A step too slow, Dakari Drake.
Open
5 minutes to go in this first half.
Josiah, they're looking for you, and you keep facing here. Looking free again. Over.
That goal seemed to take the wind out of the sails of Trinidad and Tobago a little bit. After they'd been in control, can they wrestle it back? One in the area here, going for goal, almost chipped over the keeper. Nice effort by Theophilus. He's had an active game down this right side. I'd like to see them come to him more often. Joseph. Three more minutes in this half. Almost feels like Trinidad and Tobago could use the halftime break to regroup here. Guyana would be thrilled to get there with the lead. Free kick on the way. Promising position to get a service in from out wide, and the first yellow card of the match seems to be coming here as well. It'll be to the goal scorer, Joshua Morris.
Atención, damas y caballeros, tarjeta amarilla en el equipo de Guyana. Número 43.
In line with Taylor! 20! Right here. Just side. Come here. Come here. Just side. Come right here.
Floated in, perfectly taken to the top of the six, but the header missed by Philip Nelson.
Hey!
Three.
Kick it out.
No funny. Go forward. Hey, Coca.
Can't quite get a read on the intentions of Trinidad and Tobago. There's been moments like this where they've been very, very passive, others where they've been direct. Trying to keep some sort of balance, but neither really working right now. What's worked best is when they tried to use the flanks, but not nearly enough. They've been doing that. Total will be 1 minute of stoppage time. So just under 2 minutes overall remaining before the halftime whistle blows. Are we heading to the break at 1-0 Guyana? Space out wide. This is again where they've had success, Trinidad and Tobago. Either down that left side through Williams or down this right side through Theophilus. Last play maybe of this first half. Guyana trying to add to the lead, and a free kick for Trinidad and Tobago. That should end things here. That'll do it for the first half. Guyana up 1-0 on the goal by Joshua Morris here in Group B of 2025 Concacaf U17 qualifying. Guyana on top of Trinidad and Tobago.
Watch short! Get there! Stop, stop! Watch it, Dad! Hey, thank you. We all right? Stop. No foul. One. Go, just time.
Players are returning to the pitch here in Costa Rica. Guyana leading 1-0 over Trinidad and Tobago. We're going to see at least one change here to begin this half, and it's going to be an interesting one. Joshua Morris will be lifted. He was on a yellow card. That could be a reason why, but he was the goal scorer in that first half. It'll be Cameron Pelou replacing him. Trinidad and Tobago down 1-0 despite controlling much of that first half. Trinidad and Tobago, the 13th ranked team at the U17 level. Guyana 21st here in Concacaf. It'll be Guyana left to right in the white. Trinidad and Tobago right to left in the red. Set to begin half number 2 here in Costa Rica. 8 groups. The 8 group winners make it to the World Cup in November. Simple as that. British Virgin Islands leading this group so far. Played the only match, won 4-0 over Sint Maarten earlier. Costa Rica waits. They were the odd team out today. They play their first match on Sunday.
Pienso que por favor, cambio el equipo de Guyana, abandona con el número 3, Joshua Morris. Regresa con el número 2, Cameron Crowley. Minuto 46.
And away we go here in half number 2. Can they make the most of the set pieces here in the second half? Had plenty of them in the first half that they squandered. Curled in, bouncing around, save, would have been an own goal there. Well done by Tapol Nijar to follow the bouncing ball literally. The ricochet off his own defender. Would have been a disastrous start to the half for a Guyana team in the lead. All the way back to Levi Williams. Had that mistake in the first half that led to the goal. Nelson chasing after it.
Stop turning your back. Go forward. Closer. Closer.
Here's Pelu, the substitute.
Push them up together, right?
It's a promising start to the half here for Trinidad and Tobago.
We don't take for that. We have them all them take. Yeah.
Could have been the equalizer right there. Oh, excuse me, that would not have been an own goal. That was off the thigh of Philip Nelson. It was quick to react as it came through to him. On the right side, Theophilus through for McMillan, and it's in the hands of Nijar.
Somebody have to go forward.
Max Robinson to get it back into play here for Guyana. Really slow pace of this game in the first half. Not quite sure if that favors one team or the other. On the turn, Joseph. Back to Williams. Caprietta. Long throw in from Williams. If Guyana could keep things on the perimeter just like that, they will be happy about it all night long.
Pick up your game, boy. You do everything you can.
Taylor here. Right? Find the pocket here. Shaquan, you can't be like that.
Why? Take it check now. Hey, no panic. Closer.
Trinidad searching for answers here. Theophilus to Nelson. Back to Theophilus. On the turn, Caprietta. Joseph sneaking through. Joseph leaves it for Nelson. There's the moment. They finally penetrate into the center of the box after Guyana had held so strong defensively. And it's the cast of characters who had been the most potent for Trinidad all combining to make that goal happen, with Nelson capping it off to make it 1-1. Caprietta had been very active on the wing. Joseph had been the driving force in the middle. some fortune there that bounces to Nelson. Hit the ball in dangerous areas, and good things happen. How will that change the complexion of this one? The last 10 minutes of the first half and the first 10 or so of this second half have really settled into a slow, grinded out pace with Guyana making life difficult.
In front. Right. Just right. Yeah. Right. In front there. Right. Drop.
Up the line from Chaz Williams. Long throw.
Man on.
Back over to Williams. Beyond the reach of Hadid. Here's Fraser. Gets it right back. Nelson. Williams. Falls for Joseph. Theophilus gave it away. Joseph calling for it. Nelson gets it back on the give and go. Nelson over the bar. That was a chance for them to take the lead. Capitalize on the equalizing goal, the momentum from it that they scored moments ago. Another nice combination play just to get entry into the area. Go from there. Chance brewing here for Pilu. Throw for Guyana. Can they counterpunch? Pilu. That played in by Mills. Another change coming now for Guyana. They'll bring on Micaiah De Freitas, placing Luke Langevin. Beyond the hour mark here after that substitution in Costa Rica. Trinidad and Tobago against Guyana. 1-1 the score now after Trinidad equalized in this second half. Guyana trying to get it back. Gary Drake had it knocked away, all the way back now to the back line for Tomar Onver. Mikel Mills lost it. Here's Joseph with space. Joseph angles it through, flag stays down. Nelson racing away. Nelson off the keeper. Ran out of room. Quarter coming. Another brilliant ball through from Dominic Joseph, the number 10 of Trinidad and Tobago. Really showcasing himself well in this one.
On your toes! On your toes! There! Stop! Stop!
Another look. Ended up too close to the keeper. Tried to toe poke it through the legs. Here's Joseph. Springs it through. Calling for it wide open in the middle is Nelson. Edge of the area for Hadid, a heavy touch. Player down for Trinidad and Tobago. Gives the attention of the trainers here. Leads to a break in the action, which they don't really probably look on too fondly. They're on a roll right now. Momentum on their side. Chances galore coming off of scoring the equalizer. Couple of changes here for Trinidad and Tobago.
Trinidad y Tobago. Abandonan con el número 7, y con el número 10, ingresan con el número 14.
That'll be all for Theophilus, who had a really big impact here. Look out. Almost snuck through. Hayden Trail came on for Theophilus. And Adasa Richardson for Dominic Joseph. Down the right wing, chance brewing here now. Dakari Drake. Nelson out wide. Looking back in for Nelson and cast aside. Another player down. Second half has had spurts of action and other spurts where it just come to a screeching halt because of some of these injuries. It's tough to have a rhythm and continue on.
Hey, Jason, you check in. One.
Now in the 70th minute. Really, if you go back to about 15 minutes ago when that goal was scored by Trinidad and Tobago, and you look at the quarter hour that's ensued, you'd almost have to say it's about a 50-50 split between the ball being in play and injuries slowing things down.
Come on, Lisa, come on.
Wake up, wake up. One in front, one behind.
Neither of these teams really, you would imagine, would be content with a draw in this one. Expect them to open up both and push for that victory. Just as you look on there, see the badges on those shirts, the Costa Rican badges. Costa Rica did not play today. They're the favorites in this group. 6th ranked team at the U17 level in Concacaf hosting this group, where only the group winner gets through to the World Cup. You have to, again, look at them as the favorites, and you need to pick up as many points as possible. So if either Trinidad or Guyana are going to overtake them, you need 3 points here, and a corner could help for Trinidad.
Hey, set up. Who's there? Who's there? My mark. Back up top. Back up top. Hey, on the top.
Whipped in, poked along, and saved. Well done by Tapal Nijar, covering his near post.
Keep watching that space behind them, yeah.
Long throw from Williams. Williams. Caprietta. Slotted through for Caprietta. Floated in, the header over the bar by Nelson.
Four.
Big guy. No.
Wait, set up. Yo!
Watch it. Come on, cross. Win it.
Quarter of an hour remains. 3 points hang in the balance. A draw again, it's not the worst thing. It's a good way to start, pick up a point. 3 more games to be played, but just knowing the daunting task that could be going up against and taking down Costa Rica, you just want to have those 3 points if you can. Maybe you pad the goal differential as well, and maybe you can afford a draw against Costa Rica. All different possibilities that only exist if you pick up wins against the other 3 teams. So whether it's Trinidad or Guyana, picking up the victory crucial. A draw okay, but the biggest winner of the evening if these 2 teams draw would be Costa Rica.
Jakes, go.
First ever edition of this format of qualification. Again, here on the first day of this qualifying group stage. Just want to continue to reiterate that to all of you as we see a big change here. Back to that thought in a moment. We'll see the goal scorer depart, Philip Nelson, and he almost scored a moment ago again. He's been so dangerous. He's replaced by Josiah Kalisharan. So it's the first edition of this qualifying method. 35 teams, 8 groups, all hosted in different countries, and the 8 group winners make it to the World Cup in November in Qatar. That's all because of FIFA switching from a biannual to an annual U17 World Cup to help the players have actual cracks at the World Cup and not be done in by the bad luck of their birth year sometimes. Talked about it earlier. You have a player who's maybe 16 and not quite ready during a World Cup year. Doesn't make the team because he's a little bit too young and a little bit still too raw. Then the next year, he could help the nation qualify for the following World Cup, but then he'd be too old to play in that following World Cup. So this just gives everybody a chance to actually have that World Cup experience without the bad luck of the birth year. That should not be a reason why players are prohibited from playing a U17 World Cup and gaining that experience. So switch to an annual system. And with that, Concacaf had to adjust as well. Instead of having qualifying phase in the even-numbered years and the Under-17 championship in the odd-numbered years, just have this one big qualifying round every year, this time of year, in anticipation of the Fall World Cup. This is the first time we're seeing it, first day of this first edition of this qualifying. British Virgin Islands won 4-0 earlier in this group. Now Trinidad and Tobago take on Guyana, 1-1 with a dozen minutes to play. Volley from distance, oh, it's over the bar, whistling as it goes by. So close on the effort.
Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. I landed so hard on the fucking ground. I just seen rusty.
Nijar needs a moment.
What's up, dude? I hit the ground so hard on my calf.
You could hear the field microphones picking it up. He said, I hit the ground so hard, it's my calf. Hopefully just a cramp.
I'm going to continue.
Nijar's made a number of big saves in this one. We would like to see him continue. Stoppage time could be hefty when we get there in 11 minutes. There's been a lot of injuries and breaks in the action like this in this second half. Minutes to play. 3 subs have been used by Trinidad and Tobago, just 2 so far from Guyana. Bench players can still have a big impact. Sends up as a corner for Trinidad. Floated in the area, nothing doing there. Volleyed in, blocked.
Send him.
All the way across. Charging at it was Richardson. Caprietta. Looking at it was Fonset. Thought it was somebody else in the neighborhood. It was intended for him. Richardson. Floated in over the head of Calichuron. Coming close. On set. Williams, some space here on the turn. Tress trail. Lost it as he was lunging at the end. 6 minutes to play. Free kick on the way. Carved up from the free kick with 5 to play. Can't be squandering opportunities like that anymore. Just behind Trestrail. Played back, Trestrail settles, Trestrail goes for a goal. A lot of space down this side as it's played over the top here for Fraser, poking it goalward and saved by Williams. Hasn't had anything to do really over the last 25, 30 minutes and to spring into action. And it's going to be a keeper change here for Guyana. That might be something that proves big in the end. Niall Kendall comes on. So remember a few moments ago when the keeper, Paul Nijar, was down and he was receiving treatment on that leg. He said it was his calf. The field mic actually picked it up. Unable to continue. He's been really good in this one. A few massive saves. Final change here. Timothy Valentine for Jaden Caprietta. Fresh legs down the left side. Seconds remaining. It'll be a corner for Trinidad. That'll be it for Jaden Harris. Isaiah Ifhill replaces. Trestrail blocked. Clipped in by McMillan. Has been very quiet in the second half. And numbers here, it's 5-on-3. Wasted by Guyana. Boulder will be 5 additional minutes. Ample opportunity still for a winner. There's the confirmation, 5 added minutes. Will it just be a point each tonight, or is there a winner still? It's not connecting in the attacking third here. Trinidad and Tobago. I think the injuries, the various ones that we've seen in this half, have taken their toll. Not from a personnel perspective, everybody's been able to continue, but from a rhythm perspective, when they were finding their groove right after they had scored the equalizing goal, the rhythm changed, the injuries slowed the game down. Game also changed when Nelson came out from the top line for Trinidad. He was their goal scorer. Basically every opportunity they had, he was involved in some way. Play it in from out wide, headed away. Halfway through stoppage time now. Seems like time is going to run out on both of these teams, and 1-1 will be the finish. Last minute of stoppage time incoming. This one has felt destined for the 1-1 for a while now. Trinidad and Tobago would be happy with that at least. Better than the alternative, having been down 1-0 for as long as they were. Next up, on the weekend, so day off for Guyana. Costa Rica takes on St. Martin. Trinidad Tobago take on the British Virgin Islands. So Guyana will be able to regroup, sit back and watch on Sunday. Other results from the day. We have another stoppage here. Belize 7-0 over Dominica. That taking place in Group C, where Nicaragua also won 6-0 over Barbados. As Mexico sat and watched. Anguilla lost 3-0 against Turks and Caicos. Also Curacao 6-1 over Bermuda, while Canada sat back and watched. That action took place over in Group C. And the British Virgin Islands 4-0 over Sint Maarten. And this game here, tomorrow, the action will continue here in the qualifying. And there is the final whistle. It finishes 1-1 between Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana here in the opening match for both these nations in Group B of qualifying in the 2025 Concacaf U17 World Cup qualifiers. 1-1 the finish. Joshua Morris gave Guyana the surprise lead in the first half against a run of play. Trinidad equalized early in the second, and it stayed that way the rest of the way. I look back at the full-time highlights from the 1-1 draw between Guyana and Trinidad and Tobago. This is the goal scored back in the first half off the goalkeeper error. It was the Joshua Morris opener for Guyana. Then in the second half, the moment would ultimately come for Trinidad and Tobago. Not there off the corner, though it almost did, off the thigh of the eventual goal scorer, Philip Nelson. The signs were there, though, that they were going to wake up and find that equalizing goal, and here it would come. Down the left side, where Caprietta created, Joseph in the middle. Fortunate bounce right there, and Nelson cleaned it up. They had all the momentum at this point, but it was slowed down by a string of injuries that slowed the game down from both sides. Nothing severe and required subs, but enough to bring the game to a screeching halt, as it would then just finish with this 1-1 scoreline after Nelson would find his goal. Chances would continue from there, as I mentioned, for Trinidad. And again, it was Nelson in the thick of things. This one just rises high beyond the bar. He would have another chance, just denied by the terrific goalkeeping of Nijar. Here it is. Nijar off his line, cuts down the angle. Makes it nearly impossible with where that ball took Nelson in the end. Made the big stop. And they would hold on for the 1-1 draw despite Nijar having a sub out due to an injury. There was one last effort the other way for Fraser of Guyana. Made life a little bit interesting. The save had to be made by Levi Williams. This time it's Dakari Drake who is trying to string something together. Nothing really there though in the end for Drake on his effort. Set pieces really were squandered in many ways by Trinidad and Tobago in this game. Not this time. Well executed, and Nelson got his foot to it. But a big save by Nijar. I mentioned a moment ago he had a number of these big saves in the game to keep it 1-1. Another one floated in. Header just rising high from Nelson. And that would really be it for the Trinidad and Tobago goal-scoring opportunities. That caused the goalkeeper to spring into action. This one was well over the bar in the end and wide. Well struck, however, from Richardson. Enough to give a scare. Now here's the one I was talking about at the other end. Fraser, through a sea of defenders, able to just toe poke it ahead and almost enough to chip it over the goalkeeper, Levi Williams. But it would finish 1-1 between Trinidad and Guyana.